I feel like something very strange is happening in photography right now. You know, we've never had better equipment than we currently have. I mean, we have cameras with great autofocusing systems and excellent dynamic range and all sorts of great features. We have sharp lenses that have never been at more affordable prices. Editing software that reduces noise and sharpens photos and just makes us more efficient, and yet more photographers feel uncertain than ever. They're uncertain about their style, their purpose, their value, even their future. And this got me thinking, are we in the middle of an identity crisis as photographers? And I happen to think that we might be. But guess what? It's not because of gear.
But you're stronger than you know. You'll never be alone when everything feels dark around. Just look inside where light is found.
Welcome to the channel. I'm Jeff, and I'm a professional wildlife photographer living in Charleston, South Carolina. And this is a channel and a place for photographers who want to learn to create better wildlife photos that are more compelling, meaningful, and emotional. Today, though, I want to talk about this thought of photographers having an identity crisis. There was a time when owning a camera made you different, but now everyone has a camera of some sort. Most of us carry one every day in our pocket due to cell phones, of course. And social media has made photography universal. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. But when everyone can create images instantly, something's got to shift. The title photographer starts to become blurry. Is a photographer someone who posts pictures online? Do they get paid for their work? Do they have a certain follower count? Do they just have expensive equipment? Or is what makes you a professional something else entirely different? When identity becomes tied to visibility instead of depth, confusion follows. Photographers don't just create images. They manage platforms. They track engagement. They analyze reach. They think about thumbnails. They study algorithms. At some point, photography stopped being just photography. Now it's about performance. And performance culture kind of changes our motivation. You start to ask questions like, will this post do well? Will this go viral? Will this grow my audience? When you really should be asking, does this image matter? Did I tell some sort of story? What worked in this image? What did I learn from taking this image? When metrics start to replace meaning, identity becomes unstable because metrics fluctuate, but meaning doesn't. Then there's AI. Editing tools are faster and more powerful than ever before. Images can be generated from scratch. Backgrounds can be generated, replaced, and altered instantly. Distractions can be removed flawlessly in fractions of a second. That leaves many photographers wondering, if software can do this, then where do I fit in? This isn't just a technical concern, it's existential. If photography becomes easy, if it becomes automated, if it becomes generated, what does it mean then to be a photographer? AI can create images, but as we know, AI cannot replicate our experience in the field or in the moment. It cannot make the choices that we make as photographers when we are out capturing our images. Where we choose to shoot from, how we choose to use the light in the scene, what we choose to include or exclude from the frame. These are still human decisions. And it's these decisions that create the story and the meaning behind a photograph. As photographers, we hear all the time how important it is to develop our own style. Style is often shaped by trends, high contrast, heavy edits, perfect symmetry, specific color grades. It becomes tempting to create what's performing in the moment. When your work is really shaped by algorithms and instead of conviction, you lose clarity. You start asking yourself all of the wrong questions. You stop seeing. You're more worried about whether your photo will be rewarded. Will it get a lot of likes? Will it get shared? And that shift can be subtle, but it erodes your identity over time. Style built on trends changes constantly. You're always chasing the next greatest thing. Style built on awareness, though, deepens. In wildlife photography, the identity crisis shows up in ethical tension. Are we storytellers or collectors of dramatic moments? Do we prioritize behavior or impact? Do we approach wildlife as observers or as content creators? The pressure to stand out can push the boundaries. It can make you approach the subject too closely. It can cause you to flush the subject for more dramatic interactions. It can cause you to bait your subject to get a more epic frame. But when identity is driven by competition instead of respect, something changes. Your responsibility. If your work requires disruption to exist, you have to question what kind of photographer you're becoming. So how do we navigate this? How do we redefine what being a photographer really means? It's not based on followers or engagement or gear, speed, convenience, but rather it's based on other criteria such as consistency, growth, awareness, intent, meaning. Being a photographer isn't about producing mass images. It's about producing images that reflect how you see. Identity is something that's built over time, through experience, through evaluation and reflection, through discipline, not through trends. Modern photography isn't dying, but there are those photographers out there screaming that it is. They make it a lot about noise and create a lot of hype. I personally don't believe it. I think photography is shifting, like it always has, like it always will. Change always presents new opportunities. Some people hate change and they fold. Others understand that change is something that's inevitable and they embrace it. Now, whether you like it or not, it's going to happen. So you might as well face it head on. In moments of change, moments of adversity, ask yourself, why do I photograph? What do I stand for? What kind of photographer do I want to become in this new landscape? In a world where everyone can create images instantly, clarity becomes your path to separation. Not speed, not software, not specs. The photographers that survive will be the ones that adapt the fastest. Yes, photography is changing. That's nothing new. Photographers felt the same way when film cameras moved to digital, when DSLRs moved to mirrorless, when the explosion of the smartphone camera happened in the early 2000s. And now, with AI weaving its way into our world, this is life. The only thing that's constant is change. We will have to look at ourselves and ask, are we going to define our identity, or will we let the world define it for us? What do you think? Do you feel the shift in photography? What does being a photographer mean to you right now? Let me know in the comments below. If you're looking for a powerful photo editor, I highly recommend checking out DxO Photolab 9. This is the software that I personally use and trust for all of my photo editing, especially because of its industry-leading noise reduction and their AI masking tools that just make editing faster, more precise, and more consistent. Now, if you'd like to try it for yourself, use the link that I've provided in the description below. And if you decide you want to purchase it, don't forget to use my code MAGNOLIA at the time of checkout, save you 15% off on your purchase. You can also download their 30-day free trial. test everything out for yourself firsthand with no restrictions. And if you really want to learn how to get the most out of Photolab, then you need to check out my DxO Photolab Mastery class at magnoliaphotography.sc.com/store. Link in the description for that as well. In this course, I walk you through everything from how to apply noise reduction and sharpening to how to use those AI masking tools. This course includes some free stuff as well, including my full DxO preset collection for wildlife, portraits, nature, and landscapes. And hey, I want to take a moment just to thank you for stopping by today and joining me for today's video. I hope you got something out of this. I truly appreciate you carving some time out of your busy lives to spend it with me. But before you go, one thing that you might want to consider doing is checking out this next video right here.